Let's get this party started, shall we? Yeah, Alicia, you're always eating. Story of your life. Okay, I'm excited about this. So as you know, we have an incredible leader on our call today. I'm going to introduce her and give you a little feed or a little snip of who she is, but I'm going to allow her to explain her story. But also, Jaelyn, before I get into that, I want to let you know, these are my 3 and 4 star diamonds who are absolutely rock stars. They have big goals by Summit. They're working hard. They've been in this business long enough to know, you know what? I know what I'm going after. I have built a successful team, and literally I'm not settling for anything less than amazing this year. So that's my incredible leaders here. And so I just want you to know who you're talking to. But Jaelyn is an incredible coach. So I've been working with her for quite a few years now. She is a very, very, very solid 6-star diamond. The beautiful thing, she will be 10-star diamond tomorrow. Like, she went from 6, 10-star diamond qual. She's finishing it tomorrow, like hot diggity dang. So it's a big accomplishment for her and her team tomorrow. But other than that, why don't you go ahead and tell a little bit more of who you are, Jaelyn, and we can just kind of jump in to taking leadership to the next level.
Okay. So I'm like so flattered to be here. I started coaching in January 2015. And I actually had a really, really awesome start. I ended the year 5-star elite at the end of 2015. 2016, I kind of like let my foot off the gas and kind of just coasted. I did hit 6-star that year. 2017 was kind of like a year of rebuild. I lost a few diamonds, but I still maintained like 6-star. And it was a really, really good year overall, though, for growth. Our team ended number 51 in the company last year. And that's kind of just a little bit about me. But I wanted to start and explain like what my team did to go from 6 to 10 and some things we implemented. And I'm going to start back with where we were personally, because that plays a big part into it. So in September of last year, my husband's a police officer and he was attacked at work, and he ended up breaking his nose and his fibula. It was extremely traumatic for everybody involved. The dude was killed. So it was like high profile. I was 12 weeks at the time, pregnant, and 5 days later we found out the baby had died. So our life went from awesome to what the heck just happened in a matter of days. And then a week and a half later, I started to hemorrhage as I was passing the baby and had to have an emergency D&C. And so like life went from seriously super awesome to like just trying to survive. And in that time, I had a leader on my team. She was a 1-star, I think at the time, lifetime. No, she just hit 2-star actually. The day that this happened, she actually had a baby the day my husband was attacked, and she went 2-star. So it was like a super awesome bipolar day. So as this was happening, I reached out to her and I said, hey, can I add you to my new coach thread? Because I need some help right now. I'm thinking, and she's like, absolutely. And at this time, our team had like a push thread. We called it a push thread. And that was for anybody who was Emerald and above, who really was trying to work the business. And it was going really well. And so then I added my coach, Ashley, to my new coach thread. And she saved my butt. She answered all of the questions for about 3 to 4 weeks before I finally felt like we got a handle on life. And I just would periodically check in, but they were doing really well. And then we went to leadership, and Ruth Schroner talked about how her team has one entire downline team page. They don't separate, they do everything together. And that really like resonated with me, because I feel like we get to a certain point in our business and we feel like we need to go off on our own. And my coach is Micah Folsom, so her team is obviously huge, but I still show up to stuff. I still show up to her team calls and her leader calls and stuff, because I really believe in being attached to the mothership still. And I believe that success leaves clues. And so I've always like stayed attached, but I could see like my leaders going off and doing their own thing. And then when Ashley started helping me with my thread, I realized how much easier it was to handle my new coaches, because there was someone else in there with me. And so I was like, we're already doing the push thread as an entire team. Why are we not doing this for our new coaches? They ask the same 8,000 questions. It's super time consuming when they first start. So why are we all doing our own individual new coach threads? Why don't we just combine and have team message threads? So rather than doing like just the team page and using the team page, message threads work really well for our team. And so we merged message threads, and we have like 2 main message threads for my entire downline. We have the new coach to emerald message thread, and then the emerald to diamond message thread. And then obviously I have a diamond and above, but those are the main ones for our team, are obviously the new coach and the emerald one. And what we found was, as we combined, it built the community of the team because everybody was getting to know everybody. Every new coach was getting to know every leader on the team. There were enough leaders and even just emeralds in the new coach thread that it took the pressure off of us leaders having to answer those newbie questions that they ask all the freaking time. And so we found that our Success Club point board doubled in the month that we did this. And we started to get some major momentum and traction because it was building the community. It was building, like, the whole goal of this when people join is to build a business. And so when they're surrounded with other people right where they are, and it's not just 2 or 3 people, they see that this is actually a community. And it also shows who is actually in the business. The ones who stay active and engaged are the ones who you know are going to be runners. I know some people are like, I get overwhelmed with message threads. So we made it very clear, turn off your notifications. I don't want you guys hearing your phone ding every 2 seconds and picking it up, because that's what your brain will say you need to do. You need to turn off notifications and just be intentional and check the message thread a few times a day. We made a graphic that says, stop your scroll, important info. And we tell them, if you see this image, that is what you need to pay attention to in the thread. So as you're checking in, do a quick scroll. And if you don't see that image, you don't need to read every little comment made by every single coach, okay? So anytime we post any important information, we will post that graphic, and it usually is information about how do I use, or how do I sign up a challenger? How do I set my preferred placement? How do I sign up a coach? All of those things. So we actually have scripts written in the notes on our phone. And when we post those, we tell them, save this to the notes on your phone, so that when someone else asks this question, you can help us as well. So they save those scripts to their phone, and now the whole team has it, and us leaders aren't having to repeat ourselves as we continually add new coaches to these threads. It also takes the pressure off of them feeling like they need to read every single comment. You don't. Like, you don't need to know the chit chat of what everybody's saying. We do try and keep it very business oriented though, because if you have an entire downline in a thread and they all start talking personal stuff, it's going to like take over the whole thread. So that was one huge thing, huge change we made this year. And as we were doing that, it became obvious to me and my leaders that we needed to do some sort of goal/vision call, because a lot of them kind of didn't know where they were going and just were kind of floating. They knew they wanted to hit Success Club, but they didn't really have a vision. So in early February, we did a vision call for our entire downline. And you guys, it took freaking forever. Like, we did 2 different times, one in the morning and one at night, so that people could jump on when they could. And we were on there for 3 hours each time. So it was like a 6-hour day going over goals and visions. However, it was huge because we were able to see exactly where people are. We were able to see what they were setting as goals, which a lot of times they were very minimal because they had the fear of not reaching their goal mindset. Rather than setting a huge goal and pushing for it, they wanted to set a low goal so they could actually hit it, which we all know that doesn't really happen. You rarely actually hit goals, you get close to them. So it was good for us leaders to be like, okay, so if your goal is actually Success Club 5, you need to set it for 10, because then you'll actually pass 5 on your way to 10. And if you don't hit 10, your original goal was 5, so you're still doing better than you were. And so we had a huge talk about that, like 10xing your goals and being happy with stretching for those goals rather than setting a bare minimum goal and not even hitting it anyway. After they set their goals, we would ask a vision for their life. And this is where we could really see where people's mindsets were. A lot of people would say, I'm content, I don't need this for the money, we're happy with our lives. And so we would ask more questions. Okay, so if you're happy with your life, are you able to serve as much as you would like? Can you just pay for anybody's groceries or gas or donate money anytime you see a GoFundMe account? Do you have debt? And that's where the truth started to come out. And they were like, oh yeah, no, I can't do that. I'm like, so are you actually content? We were able to pull out, like, is that really how you want to live? Where you can't serve and love and give and grow as much as you want just because you're content. And so that's where a lot of their visions came out. And that was good for us because we could see, once again, who the runners were, who the people who had big visions were. And we were also able to use that if they start to go MIA in their head. Like, hey, remember your big vision that you had? Yeah, not going to happen if you just like do nothing. So that was really good because it also gave us what they wanted. So rather than us being like, are you diamond? Are you going to get diamond? It was, hey, I know that your diamond goal date was by this date. How's it going? It made it easy to talk to them about their goals without them thinking it was about you, if that makes sense. I know that's like a huge, you feel like you're like tiptoeing around, like, you know, like my rank kind of depends on them. Like, how do I get them to see that? And what, like, it has to be about their goals. And so that made it very obvious whose goals were to grow, when their goals were diamonds, and all of that. So we found that I had several fallen diamonds whose goal date to get back to diamond was the end of February, plus some new ones. And so we put them all into a message thread, just like the emerald thread and the new coach thread. And we used that to rally. And that's how we went from 6 to 10 in 1 week, was because of their goals. It wasn't about me getting to 10-star. It was about them getting to diamond to move their business forward. And that's something we super emphasized as we were in 10-star. Like, this isn't even about being 10-star for me. This is about them getting beyond diamond. We don't want them just at diamond. Let's be honest, diamond sucks. Like, it's not where the magic happens. You aren't making a huge income. Yes, it's a huge milestone, but it's like a stepping stone, and it shouldn't be somewhere where people stay. And so the goal is to get them beyond diamond. And so we really emphasize, like, you guys, don't get to diamond to take your foot off the gas, because that's when you start to defend your diamond and it becomes stressful and not worth your time, because you're starting and stopping and starting and stopping. And that momentum, like that energy to try and keep that momentum up of the start stop, is like killer. That's what kills, I think, more coaches than anything, is the lack of consistency. And so we really emphasize, like, don't get to diamond and take your foot off the gas. Like, you guys aren't going to diamond. That's not the end goal that's going to get you to your vision. You've got to think beyond that. You control at least through 1 star, you know, and as you're running for 1 star, you'll most likely get builders. And so we were able to like get that mindset into them. Like, the goal is never just diamond, ever. And so when they gave us their goal date for diamond, we're like, perfect, let's get there. We got there. And then, as you guys know, qualification can be a beast. Like, it's stressful. And so my husband and I were talking about it, and he's like, you need to just have them have the mindset of solid by Sunday. And I was like, dude, he's like so good with like things like that. He makes up these things, and I'm like, done. So I went to my team and I said, okay, guys, we aren't going to do the Wednesday scramble because that freaking sucks and it's not worth it. Everybody will hate life. So the goal is solid by Sunday. Okay, so every Thursday morning, you check your sponsorship drill down. I come in a thread. I'm like, hey, how are we looking for solid by Sunday? And they all comment, I have 2 projected, I have 1 projected, I have no projected, I'm solid, whatever it is. So we know where everybody is at. We then have the rule for the solid by Sunday is any projecteds you have, even if they end up placing an order and they would go active, you replace them, because you're clearly not solid if you're having projecteds pop up that are going to affect your rank. So your goal is to replace those projecteds between Thursday and Sunday. If you have 0 projecteds and you're solid for a week. So the goal is to add a minimum of 2 coaches. Okay. So the goal is always 2 coaches or whatever you need to replace your projecteds by Sunday. And they always push for that. Do we always make it by Sunday? No, but we have always gotten it by Tuesday morning, not Tuesday night, not Wednesday morning, not Wednesday night. So the stress, honestly, has been not nearly as bad as we all expected, because we had the mindset of solid by Sunday. So this is something that I will definitely continue to do with my team. And as, like I said, as we stayed in 10-star qual, like, this isn't just about 10-star. This is seriously about you guys moving beyond diamond. We don't want you defending diamond. We want you proactive so that you can actually get solid, Because we all know when you have those, like at least 6 coaches on each leg and 2 emeralds on each leg, like you're not stressing when one pops up inactive. It's okay. You have time to replace them. And then it gives you time to start building your husband and getting to 1 star. And it's totally changed their mindset. We did have a couple weeks where some of the diamonds, they slacked off. They thought they were solid, so they didn't do the minimum of 2. And the next week they were like, this sucks. I'm so stupid. I'm not doing this again. So it was good to get them in that mindset. But as we were setting a team goal for 10 star, it really helped to emphasize the benefits of being a 10-star team. So the corporate support, the bragging rights of being 10 star, the more access you have to people who are successful in the business, stuff like that benefits the entire team, not just me. It's not about me, if you will. We also have a retreat planned, and the date was February 22nd. Whoever was diamond and holds it for 6 weeks qualifies for this retreat. So it's not just my 10 stars, because I have a 4-star underneath my husband. Like, obviously she is included. She's one of my coaches. So anybody who was diamond at that date and held for 6 weeks will qualify for this retreat. And so that was a huge incentive for them. And they understood, because we've done retreats before, but they've been very basic. This one is to Disneyland. So I'm taking all of my leaders to Disneyland. That they are like beyond stoked for. And that was something I asked them, like, what do you guys want? Would you rather gifts? Would you rather retreats? And they all want to like go to awesome vacations. And so we're going to Disneyland, and they also understand, crap, this is just a 10-star bonus. Like, if the retreats are for 15-star, how much more awesome are they going to be? So it changes the perspective of, oh my gosh, like, it's just your rank. Like, no, this is a team benefit. Make it benefit the team as you're advancing your rank as well. I'm trying to think. But that's pretty much all I did. And in that time, you guys, like, I want to really emphasize utilizing your leaders, and understanding that life will happen. Because in that time, I'm actually pregnant again. So I went through morning sickness, trauma, miscarriage, and pregnancy all in this time in the last 6 months. And our team has obviously advanced. And so it's not impossible to have hard life and still grow the business, especially when you lean on your leaders and you do things as a team, especially in those message threads. Because if we have a bad day or something crazy happens, one of us being checked out for the day doesn't completely crumble the momentum of the entire team. Does that make sense? Okay.
Ooh,
that's it,
good.
Brittany.
No, okay, let's open it up to questions. So if you have questions, I know there's a lot of great feedback over here, loving it. But will you please unmute yourself and ask Jessica? It looks like you're unmuted. Yeah.
So I have a question, because I've never done, I know different coaches have done the message thread, and I've never done that. What would you say the difference is, or the benefit is, between having like a separate Facebook group or doing a message thread?
Message threads, people are way more interactive because it's like texting. People aren't going to want to go to a page and type in a question. It's a message thread. So it's like texting. And not only that, other people see it way easier than they do in the coach page. Posts in groups are being filtered by Facebook. They're not going to even know that people are posting. So in a message thread, you always get a notification. So for me, it's way easier and quicker to have a message thread rather than a team page, which I obviously have a team page. We still go live in there. I still post in there. But as far as like daily communication, I forgot to mention something. In this thread, all of our leaders, we alternate and we take a day to give tips about what we're doing. For the entire downline, we give them challenges and tips. So we actually have a marketing calendar for the entire team. We all run groups at the exact same time, doing the exact same groups. We're not necessarily in the same group, because if they have a diamond coach, they usually go with that coach, but we're marketing for the exact same thing, so that when we, I could totally share it. So that when we are doing our posts and our challenges and tips for the day, it usually has something to do with the marketing calendar or a power hour. We know that they know what they need to do, like do your invites and expand your network. But what does that look like? A lot of them don't even know what that looks like. So we can say, hey, as part of the marketing calendar for our free group that's coming up on Friday, I'm going to be sending out some invites. Here's a sample script of mine. Post yours below. Or, hey, we need to do a call to action for our post on Monday. And we give some tips and pointers. Post your screenshot when you've done yours. So like, we're giving them action-oriented steps every single day. So they're not just like, I'm doing everything and they really aren't, or they don't know what they're doing. We even critiqued their Facebook pages last week. We said, who wants us to have a look at your profile? We had them look at their own, and then we were like, yeah, no. So they're like, mine are awesome. And we're like, no, they're not. So then the next day we're like, hey, who wants us as leaders as an outside perspective to look at yours? And whoever said they wanted us to look at them, we went and we had someone who was not their coach, a different leader, so that we could be more open and blunt and they'd be more receptive to us, because we all know they listen to other people more than they do their own coach for some reason. And so we all critiqued it, and we actually put the critiques in the message threads. So we would tag them and say, hey, I was the lucky one who got to critique you. We made sure to tell them what they did awesome and post a screenshot of what we loved about their profile. But then we were able to critique them and they all saw it. So they're all like, oh, shoot, I do that. Oh, okay, I do that. So that was another thing we do. Sorry, I hijacked your question.
No, I think you just answered it even more.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a question too. So congratulations on going 10-star tomorrow, by the way.
Thank
So
you.
it sounds like if you had those 4 that just made that commitment, like we're going to go diamond, aside from going, okay, now go out and start recruiting, what specific activities, obviously they all started together and made this their goal to make this happen by tomorrow. So my struggle is, aside from telling people recruit and share your stories and all the, usual activities, did you put together any specific initiatives or action points to get them there?
I'm not a huge fan of like push groups. I feel like it starts out awesome, but it adds more to their plate. And so honestly, I'm part of Micah's team. And if you have not seen her #DoYourCrap video, you should go watch it. That is that is what they need to do, is they need to do their crap. That's all they need to do. And they would have no problem growing the business. And so it literally comes down to them being consistent with their power hour and their journey. A lot of them 3 of the 4 were fallen diamonds. They knew what they needed to do. They weren't doing it. So it was just them recommitting to their journey. They're like, oh, crazy. When I actually, take care of myself and do my crap, stuff happens. And so it was very obvious to them. So to us, it was just every day, hey, have you done your power hour? What do you need help with? Where are you at? Giving them maybe some suggestions or outside point of views. It was just very much of a rally, not so much like extra steps, because they just needed to do their basic crap.
Simplify it. I love that. Yes, Deanna, go.
Okay, so I have a question, because we currently have a thread going with our team. How do you deal with the negative Nancy's in the thread? Like, oh, everybody's saying this, to not have everybody else kind of get discouraged by their negativity.
So we told them when they joined that we don't tolerate it. Like, this is not the place. Excuses get you nowhere. So if you want to be negative and have excuses, like, don't do it here, because if you're negative, you need PD. So go do your crap. So honestly, we rarely have anybody complain. And when they do, it's very much just redirect and guide them. Hey, have you done your PD today? Or what PD are you reading? Or, okay, so give me an example of the script you sent, or give me an example of your post. And it's always something they're missing. It's not actually the business, it's them. So we honestly, just from the beginning, being upfront, like, this is not an excuse. We will not tolerate it. Like, that will do nothing for your business. So I think just setting that expectation from the beginning is a huge part of it.
Go ahead,
Can I
Justin.
ask a quick question as well? First of all, just to kind of echo what Daphne said, congratulations. That's amazing. And I love all of this. So when you're going through the 3 hours, set your goals and all that call, I've gone through a lot of those calls with coaches where we just kind of try to figure out their goals and get them excited and try to figure out their real deeper why. And there's been a handful of times, and I'm trying to figure out how you navigate this, when people go, yeah, no, I want this. And they can really connect to why they want it and what their goal is very specifically, but there's still that underlying fear that kind of locks them in place of not doing the invites or whatever it is. And I've talked through it, and it's still clearly that there's something amiss. How do you handle those situations when they want it, they can describe what they want, they're excited, but there's that fear that's kind of blocking them?
So once again, like, PD, mindset is huge. And we talk about that. Like, we really, really emphasize the difference between them and Micah And any other leader in this company is confidence. That's all the difference is. So if you have fear, you're not confident. So you've got to really figure out why you have that fear. And a lot of them will say that, like, I don't want to be this person, and we can talk them through that. And we're like, dude, just don't be that person. Like, we overcomplicate stuff. So it's always guided back to, what PD are you reading? Because like, they joined for a reason. So they obviously see that we're not like whatever their fear is. But usually if that's the case and they're not doing their invites, once again, that goes back to them not doing their crap. It is always a missing puzzle piece. So you just navigate, okay, so walk me through your day. Are you doing your power hour? Well, no. Okay, well, why are you not doing it? And you can just figure out where they are. But honestly, just emphasizing, like, everything is in your head. The only difference between you and me is your mindset, and the way to get out of your head is by action. So if they're ever stuck in their head, do your power hour. Bite the bullet, send the messages, and then puke afterwards, whatever you need to do. But it's action. When they get in their head, they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. They sit and they think about it, and they think about it, and they think about it. So it's just go do it. Here's some examples. And then we also, with our marketing calendar, we teach them how to get target lists. That also helps them send invites. I hate invites. I've always hated invites. I'm that person. So I developed the marketing calendar for me to find a way to invite people in a funnel system. So I always do the paid challenge group the first Monday of every month. That gives me time the previous week, so the end of the previous month, so right now, basically, end of the last month, first of that month, I am marketing for a paid challenge group. You'll always get tons of people saying they're interested and they don't want to do it. Well, then I now write down all of their names. They are a target because they have expressed interest. I then offer a free group the next week. I go back and I invite all of those people who expressed interest and didn't buy to the free group, because how easy is it to invite people who have expressed interest, right? At the end of the free group, we then invite them back to the paid group. We then have a sneak peek. We invite all of our challengers to the sneak peek, as well as doing a call to action. So we make very specific targeted lists to make inviting easy for them, so that it's not overwhelming and they're just sending cold messages. We will never recommend cold messages. And so it's like, you've got to be doing your power hour. You've got to be building those relationships and doing the marketing calendar so that inviting is not weird or awkward. And we help them word it, because a lot of times it's just the wording. They don't know how to word things without sounding weird. So they'll come into thread and say, hey, I had someone express interest and they said this, what do I say? And we can give them feedback. Did that answer your question? Okay.
Jessica asked a couple questions. So does everyone follow the same power hour outline on your team?
Basically, we like have a couple different versions, but they're all basically the same.
And then
so some do it on paper, some do it on Google Sheets, but the numbers are a little adjusted too for new coaches versus leaders. But as far as like the actions, yeah, they're basically the same.
What about your free group? How long is that?
So our free group starts on a Friday with prep Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then we do it Monday through Friday. So it's only a 5-day free group after prep. We also run a clean week group the next week. So we do a free group that is mindset oriented, where we do on demand and a clean meal plan, but we're emphasizing the mindset part. The clean week is more for people who are really interested, but they hesitate about it actually working or the product being awesome. So that is more for people who've expressed interest in the fitness health side. Mm-hmm. We go back and invite them to the free group or clean week. So we do a free group, clean week, sneak peek, paid group, free week, clean week, sneak peek. So that's kind of the outline of our month.
Ooh, that's good. Okay.
And then, clean week tip real quick. As leaders, we do not need, so we don't have them purchase clean week through Beachbody because the volume sucks. Brittany, maybe you should take that to corporate. Instead, we buy the packets through our husband's account. So that's incentive for our coaches to sign up their husbands and have their stuff paid for. They'll buy packets. We have them just sign up for the free trial of BOD. We upload the Clean Week meal plan. They use Clean Week from BOD, and they pay us $35 to send them 7 packets. So that covers the cost of the husband signing up for packets every single month. As leaders, I don't need that money. from packets. So I actually give my people for Clean Week to my team. So I go to the message thread and I say, okay, I have a customer for Clean Week who has packets, and I send them the $35 and they send the packets for me. So not only are they getting challengers for themselves, I'm actually helping them cover their cost for signing up their husband. So that's what we do with Clean Week.
Sorry, can you explain that one more time?
Yeah. So with Clean Week, we call it Clean Week, but they don't purchase the Clean Week packet through Beachbody. They just do the on-demand free trial. We put them in the group where we have uploaded in the file section the Clean Week meal plan, the Clean Week quick start guide. We tell them they're doing Clean Week, so they know that that's the workout they're doing. They send us $35 either through Facebook Messenger or the Cash App. We mail them 7 packets.
And so you're ordering that through your husband's account?
Because the volume's 90 and you can get 3 people out of that. 3 people volume for Clean Week is like 35, 40. It's crap. So this is more volume. It covers the cost of your husband to be signed up, which is a huge hesitation for new coaches. So, and then we say, hey, as leaders, all of my diamonds are doing this now. They don't need the money. We will all pass on our customers. So that's helping our entire downline cover the cost of their husband signing up. And it gives them like the confidence of, okay, like I actually can do this. We're getting our costs covered. Yeah. So that's how we do Clean Week.
That was a good question. Thank you. Okay, we have time for like 2 more questions.
All right, I have a question. Thanks again for all this amazing information. I love it. I love how strategic you are and how laid out your monthly calendar is. That is fabulous. So thank you. My question is, where are you finding coaches? Are they mostly coming like through your challenge group, or are you inviting right into the business opportunity?
Both. But more come from challengers first. So like, that's why we really emphasize when we do our sneak peek, inviting all of our challengers. We invite all of our challengers. I don't care how crappy they are. That's why we invite them. Like, you need the accountability. That's why I signed up as a coach from the beginning, was I knew I needed the extra accountability. So I use that when I'm talking to people who struggle with accountability. I invite literally every challenger to a sneak peek. So majority, yes, come from challengers to coaches. And do you know what's crazy? When you message them and say, hey, you are doing freaking amazing in the group. I really appreciate you supporting others, blah, blah, blah. You compliment them, tell them why they'd be an awesome coach, and then let them know you're doing a sneak peek. I always just say, maybe it's not for you and that's okay, but I really think you'd kill it because you're already doing what we do as coaches. Once again, reiterate why they're awesome. Every single one has mentioned, I have thought about it, and they have all of the common fears that we have. So like, don't discredit anybody. Everybody is thinking about it, but they have all the normal fears that we did before we signed up. So it's a good opportunity to like, oh girl, we got you. That will be included in the sneak peek. We just do a 1-hour sneak peek where we bust out all of the information and we leave it live in that group for an entire month, so that as people get people in the middle of the month who are interested, they can watch the old one. So we do call to actions on our wall for new people, but the majority do come from challengers.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, it looks like you have a couple other. Oh, do you do a 1-day sneak peek?
Yeah, so we do just 1 hour. It's like on a Thursday night. We did have like, I'm really weird about the energy has to be awesome. And sometimes even your diamond coaches lack confidence and it just gets like wah, wah. So I only have like really awesome rock stars who help with the sneak peek, but we have all of our other diamonds pop in during the day that it will happen. We do it at night and just give like a 3 to 5 minutes how coaching has changed their life. So they're still involved without being the ones giving the information about why it's freaking awesome and you need to join. So that's kind of how we structure it, is we have the rock stars do like the info meat of it, but we have all of our other leaders pop in and just share how coaching has helped them.
Perfect. Okay. Final words before your final depart. What would you say to these 3 and 4-star diamonds that are working hard, have big goals by summit, have big goals by the end of the year? What would you say?
Consistency. Your team will do what you do. So if you go MIA day in and day out, they will do the same thing, and make it about them. Like, this is a team effort. Like, the team succeeds as a team. It's not because the leader's awesome. The leader can't be awesome without a team. So they're a big part of that. So including them in everything, I think, is a big thing, is just making it about the team and about them getting to their goals and visions rather than the leader's rank. I think that's what. Don't worry, my tripod just ejected my phone.
I'm like, are you okay?
Stupid tripod. I just think that gets in leaders' head more than anything is the rank thing. Well, it's like affecting my rank, and I don't want them to think that this is just about my rank, and so we like hold ourselves back. So make it about the team. Remember that it's about their goals, not just your rank, but make your rank also exciting. So that's it.
I like it. Okay. Thank you so much. That was amazing. Really appreciate you. Thank you all for jumping on. Thank you for asking the questions. Those were great questions and such amazing content. So thanks, Jaelyn. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day, okay?
Hey,
Okay.
see ya.
Bye, guys.